Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to SEC Weekly at DocSports.com. Scott Spreitzer here with Doug Upstone, and we're talking about 3 SEC football games each and every week throughout the course of the season, into the bowl games, and I bet you into the playoffs. That team out of Tuscaloosa not looking too bad last week. Doug and I here each week with SEC, 2-1 last week with our 3 plays. We had a conference battle, head-to-head conference clash in this particular game. Missouri at Kentucky Wildcats, as I'm checking my lines. They're laying 56.5 to 56 on that total. Ton of lopsided tickets and money so far, Upstone, on Kentucky, as I'm sure you know. I'll say this: the Wildcats whipped Monroe 45-10, and they gained. But that offensive line for Kentucky gave up 4 quarterback sacks. They allowed their quarterback to get hit a lot more than 4 times when he was dropping back last week. And how about this? The stat of the week: Mizzou sacked Central Michigan 9 times last week. So Kentucky's pass blocking better look a little bit sharper this week. You know, there's that old math thing we learned in high school and college, syllogism, you know, when A plus B equals C and all this crap that I don't even want to think about anymore because you promised me there would be no math. But when you look at the Missouri sack rush and you look at Kentucky's offensive line, the Cats better get it together in their pass blocking schemes, Mr. Upstone.
Yeah, that's for sure. Hey, while we're speaking of the SEC, I want to just give a little prop to our friend and cohort, Raphael. I saw on Twitter last week somebody mentioned this was their top 5 new poll for this week, and they had Alabama one, which you mentioned. Raphael, his top 5 was Alabama. So I thought that was good. So you know, but we'll move along. Hey, you know what? Neither of these teams is going to win the SEC East. We know that. Okay, it's either going to be Florida or Georgia, and it looks more like Georgia at this point. However, they could set a victory here could be the precursor to set them up for a better than average bowl game. You know, down the road here. So there's a little something at stake. Kentucky actually has a quarterback that seems to be able to throw the ball. They got the transfer from Penn State, Will Levis. And the thing that I was trying to think of, the last quarterback I could remember that threw the ball well for Kentucky, and the name that came in my head was Jared Lorenzen. Now,
I was going to say
somebody else, but that's the guy I came up with, for that. So obviously, I think he can have some success because, as you mentioned, you know, Missouri had 9 sacks, but they gave up 484 total yards to Central Michigan. Now, Central Michigan's got a nice offense, no question about it, but they're out of the MAC. Okay, so that's a lot of yards, and especially to give up a team like that on the road. Okay, and plus when you include the sack yardage. So I don't know. I think there's a potential problem there. Both the Tigers, as you mentioned, both offensive lines, you know, have not been very good to start the season. When I look at this one, though, Kentucky comes in, they have revenge. Okay, they lost last year as a favorite at Columbia, 20-10. And in this series, the home team is 7-3 against the spread. And the straight-up winner, though, is 9-1 against the spread. I look at these teams. I see the Wildcats. They're 11-3 against the number at home. Missouri on the road the last 3 years, 1-8 against the number. Not a huge fan of this one, but you know what? I'm going to take Kentucky to cover the number here. Scott, what do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what. You mentioned the quarterback and how well he played last week for the Cats, and you had the running back by the name of Rodriguez who really ran well. Husker transfer Wan'Dale Robinson had 5 grabs for over 100 yards. He looked really good. By the way, a little bit of breaking news I'm going to throw at you as we cut this video, and like you said, we're doing this on late Wednesday afternoon. There's a lot of talk, a lot of names being bandied about. Not a lot of names, but 3 names being bandied about in case the Huskers don't make a bowl game. One of those happens to be Mark Stoops at Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And he's one of the 3 names. It was Mark Stoops. It was Matt Campbell from Iowa State. And I'm spacing off the third. Luke Fickell out of Cincinnati, which I think would be a fantastic hire. But the bottom line is, you know, that's just something to throw out there. It has nothing to do with a handicap in this football game. That's just the talk around Lincoln. But I don't like the way Mizzou gave up 500 yards of offense to Central Michigan, and you hit it on the head with a great point. Man, you factor in the yardage lost in 9 sacks, and you still gave up 6,000. I mean, basically that's what they did. So listen, I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think Kentucky does cover the spread. We're in agreement here, and so far we're 2-1 in the SEC on our videos with our agreements. So let's hopefully put another win here together for the folks watching. But Kentucky minus the points for Doug, Kentucky minus the points for moi. And listen, I got a couple of 6-star plays going this weekend, one in college football, one in the NFL. Going to be a multiple game card. Only 3 plays last week and went 2-1. However, we will be probably doubling that amount of plays this week because we've got the full slate of college, the full slate of week 1 in the NFL, Thursday night football, Monday night football. You don't want to miss out. Doug, how about you? What you got going this week?
Yeah, with this week's guy, well, first of all, I'd like to tell everybody, you know what, and you mentioned this, some of the other videos we're doing this week. Take advantage of the free $60, whether it be my account or whether it be Scott's, and sign up today. You can go to either one of our pages, for example, and in the upper left-hand corner is a red rectangular box. Click on that, baby, and you can just sign up right there. It's real simple. It's real easy, and you can get some free picks coming up for this weekend. So take advantage of that. Like I say, this weekend, Scott, got some NFL action, of course. Going to have a good-sized card, probably 3 in the NFL, 5-ish, maybe 6 in college football, and see if we can, do better overall than last week. I said, hit the big play, but it's going to come through. We're going to come back with a 7-unit play in college football. And like you, Scott, I'm going to have a 6-unit play in the NFL as we get ready for the first big full weekend of football.
I got to tell you a real quick story, then we're going to wrap it up. It's not a bad beat because of what happened on the field. It's a bad beat because of technology. I had to run away from the TV for a few minutes. The BYU game, which was the Saturday night game, and we were sitting 2-0. That was the final game. And as I'm checking my score app, I happen to see that they've got the ball with about 2.5 minutes to go in the red zone, inside the Arizona 20-yard line, leading by 11, late 12 in the game. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this is great. There's like almost 3 minutes left. Arizona's got 3 timeouts left. There's no way they can run out the clock. They're at the very least going to attempt a field goal. And so like 20 minutes goes by and I'm checking the score again. Like I said, I had to get some things done. I couldn't stay glued to the TV, unfortunately, for the final 5 minutes, something that came up. And I see the final score and I text a buddy of mine. I'm like, what just happened? And I go, didn't they have the ball in the red zone? Or did you turn it over? And he goes, no. He goes, it was a punt that was fumbled by Arizona muffed. It could have been covered 2 or 3 times by BYU, but it got kicked out of bounds. Arizona football. So it was a score app technical glitch bad beat. I think that's the first one of those and hopefully the last that I ever have, Doug Upstone. But listen, best of luck to you and best of luck to everybody watching these videos this weekend. For Doug, I'm Scott. We are DocSports.com. Let's put him in the win column.